The story begins in the year 2013 when a 20-year-old boy Jing Hao goes to drop his younger sister Jing Tong to school. He loves his sister very much and makes every effort to take care of her, so that her sister has a good day, but today the worry behind the smile on Jing Hao's face was troubling him. Jing Hao left school and went straight to the hospital where the doctor told him that his sister has a serious heart problem. The doctor said your sister is in a serious condition. We need to operation on her as soon as possible before she turns 8. He doesn't have much time, so collect money for the operation as soon as possible. Hearing this, Jing Hao's heart started beating. He did not have enough money to get his sister treated. He was a simple repair man and the income from his shop was not that much, so that he could afford such a big operation. In the evening when he reached home with his sister, so he saw the landlord's notice on the door of the house. The notice warned him to pay the rent. Jing Hao was even more heartbroken, but he never expressed his sorrow and troubles to his sister. At night, Jing Tong showed his lost baby teeth to Jing Hao, whom he treasured so proudly. He smiled at his sister, but deep inside he knew that time was running out fast, and he had to collect the money as soon as possible. The next day he went to his friend Tao, who borrowed 2,000 yuan from him, but Tao refused to return the money, citing his mother's illness as an excuse. He told Jing Hao, "Your father didn't leave anything for you," to which Jing Hao replied, "We are thankful that he didn't leave us with debt." Tao took him to a warehouse and showed him a pile of old smartphones. He said that if Jing Hao can arrange 100,000 yuan, he can get all these phones. These phones belonged to an import-export man who is now in jail, and now the warehouse owner wants to sell them as soon as possible. Jing Hao asked for the quality report of those smartphones and asked for some time because 1 lakh yuan was a huge amount for him. Jing Hao returns to his repair shop and he started trying to fix those smartphone samples and found that all of them were completely fine. But there was a small problem with a capacitor which could be easily fixed. Seeing this, he got some hope for his sister's treatment. If he can repair these phones, he can sell them at a good price and collect money for his sister's operation. Jing Hao went to a man who could lend him a loan, and he took a loan of 50,000 yuan, which was the biggest risk of his life. Then he went to a smartphone dealer, as he himself was a phone repairman, so he had many contacts who could help him sell those phones. He offered to sell the smartphone to the dealer at half the market price, which was a very good deal for the dealer as well. So the dealer immediately accepted his offer. According to Jing Hao's calculations, he could have earned more than 9 lakh yuan from these old smartphones. This money would have been sufficient for his sister's operation. However, this journey was full of risks, and Jing Hao had to overcome this challenge with his hard work and dedication. He started working day and night, but perhaps destiny had something else in store for him. 2 weeks later, Jing Hao got the news that the local administration has started a campaign against fake and refurbished mobile phones. He went to the mobile dealer. There he found out that refurbishing is illegal and 2 dealers have already been arrested. Jing Hao had thousands of old phones, but they were no longer useful. He could neither sell them nor make any use of them. All his hopes were shattered, and now he had to face the landlord who was demanding the rent at night. Jing Hao was sitting beside his sister wondering what to do. Then an idea came to his mind, and the very next day he went to the main office of that company. He met Mr. Li at the company that manufactured those smartphones. Jing, who was the general manager of the company, said, "I have many of your smartphones. I can sell you their parts and you can use them in refurbishment." But Mr. Li said, "We can't deal with a repair man like you because your parts will not pass our quality test." This was another setback for Jing Hao, but he did not lose courage and was determined that he himself will remove the parts of these smartphones and ensure their quality. He started carefully removing the camera motherboard, battery and other vital components one by one. He wanted every part of his to pass the quality test. Meanwhile, the lender came to ask for his money back, but Jing Hao asked him for just a week's time. For the next few days, Jing worked very hard, taking apart each part in such detail that no mistake happens. When a week was over, he again went to Mr. Li. He showed him the quality report and said that I have got all the parts passed in the quality test. Li tried to ignore him. But then the real owner of the company, Zhao Zhenchang, passed by there. Jing tried his best to meet him, but Zhao was in a hurry as he had to catch his train, and now he will return here next month only. Jing Gao could not wait for a month. He immediately got on his scooter and rushed to the train station. His high speed invited an accident, but he somehow got up and boarded the train. The car in which Zhao was traveling panicked after seeing Mr. Li Jing, but Zhao was impressed by his courage and decided to give Jing a chance, but on one condition: that he will not get any advance payment or help, neither will they provide workers nor a factory to work in. Jing has to do everything on his own, and if he fails in quality, he won't get a single penny. Jing Hao returned from the station with hope, but there was a fear too. When he reached home, his sister saw his injuries. He told Jing not to drive the scooter so fast next time. The next day Jing tried to meet Mr. Liang, who was an old technician. At first Liang refused, but Jing somehow convinced him and he sold his shop and paid off the loan. So that he gets some more time to work, Jing takes up a job as a window cleaner to support his family. Jing and Liang then rented an old garage and turned it into a small factory. Now they needed laborers. They hired many people. Some of them were a girl who couldn't hear without a hearing device, a professional boxer who punched his boss. Some people used to waste their time playing games in cyber cafes. An old man who once worked in a pot factory. He accidentally damaged all the parts, resulting in the ruining of an entire unit. Jing faced many difficulties. He had to teach new people how to remove the delicate parts of the smartphone properly. After many days of hard work and struggle, he was successful in teaching the work to his workers. One by one, everything got sorted out. There was a pile of smartphones outside his garage. One day, a man came to meet him, who offered Jing an illegal business, which Jing flatly refused. But the problems did not end here. One of his employees, Zhang Chao, was unhappy with the cut in his salary. Jing explained to him the number of hours he had worked. He was paid accordingly, but Yung could not accept it and he left the factory. Jing didn't want to lose her, so he tried to get her back by paying money out of his own pocket, but this made his financial situation even weaker. And now he didn't have any money left for himself. Another factory worker talking to an agent during her break on a busy day. Their argument escalated to the point where the agent slapped Wang hard. Wang already had poor hearing and had recently purchased a hearing aid. Jing couldn't stand seeing this slap and he killed the agent in anger. After this, a fight broke out between Jing and his staff and the agent's people. But Jing had a professional boxer who beat them badly. Wang was so angry that she wanted to kill the agent by hitting him with an axe. But Jing stopped him and said he could fix his hearing aid. After this, Wang's anger subsided a bit, whose life was going haywire. But he was trying his best to complete the work. Meanwhile, at the wedding of one of his employees, Zhang Chen apologized to Jing and promised not to repeat his mistake in the future. Jing forgave her and everything became fine between them. When Jing returned home after marriage, he could not open the door and the lock was changed. Jing tries to get his 2,000 yuan back from Tao to pay the rent, but Tove lost all the money in gambling. Jing searched his house but did not find a penny. Now he was forced to live in the factory with his sister. He cried a lot at night. His life had become so bad that he was unable to control himself. The next morning when the workers came to the factory, so they saw Jing's pitiable condition and were all moved. That very night Jing fell asleep on the table while working. Then his sister came over and complained about strange noises coming from the garage. When Jing went to check, then he found that the door lock was broken and some people were trying to steal his smartphone stock. He tried to stop them but they didn't stop. Jing somehow got inside the truck and tried to stop the thieves, but he and another thief fell from the truck and became unconscious. When he regained consciousness, his fingers were broken. In the hospital, Jing tried to return to work despite his injury, but while working he accidentally dropped a bucket from a height and endangered his own life as well as the lives of people standing below the building. After which his manager abuses him and fires him from the job and tells him never to show his face again. Now Jing had no hope left. He asked Li for an advance but Li flatly refused. He said that if Xiao saw him in this condition, he would cancel the deal. So you better do what you were told to do. To add to Jing's troubles that day, a typhoon warning was issued and all factories and buildings were closed, which was causing further delay in their work. When Jing reached the factory, he saw that his garage was completely destroyed in the storm. Jing couldn't lie to his employees anymore, so he told them the truth. That he no longer has the money to pay them and that they have to complete the shipment in just 1 week. He apologized to everyone and started crying, but his employees could not see him crying. Liang said it was never about the money. Jing gave him hope that people like him can be part of something bigger. He extended a helping hand to Jing and promised to convert their homes into small factories. When the storm was over, they shifted the factory work to their homes and worked day and night to meet the delivery deadline. He just had to remove all the parts of the smartphone and send it to the company, so that its quality could be checked, but this journey was not as easy as he thought. I don't know how many nights he stayed awake without eating or drinking. Every time he had the same question in his mind. Zing's colleagues were also with him with the same hope. Whether he will be able to reach his goal. They all kept working hard day and night because they knew this was their last chance after the work was finished. Jing sent all the parts to the company and everyone's heart started beating faster, wondering what the result would be. The next day Jing reached the company office with all his colleagues, where a receptionist told him that Mr. Zhao wanted to meet him. Jing entered the office fearfully. His colleagues were also with him. Mr. Zhao asked him who these people were, to which Jing proudly told him that they were all his partners. Zhao said, "You delivered the order on time, which was not easy, you know. According to our terms, you have to score above 85. Hearing this, the hearts of Jing and his companions began to beat faster. After a few seconds of silence, Zhao said, "Your parts scored 87% in quality dress." Hearing this, Jing and his companions' eyes filled with tears of joy. Mr. Zhao congratulated him and appreciated his hard work, but that was not the end. Zhao offers Jing another big project. He was planning to build a green industry chain and wanted Jing to be a part of it. Hearing this, Jing's eyes welled up with tears. He tremblingly asked if there would be any advance payment this time. He smiled and said yes. Soon as they reached the elevator, everyone started shouting and crying loudly with joy. This was the biggest moment of their life. He couldn't believe that he had accomplished a seemingly impossible task. Jing immediately ran to his sister and hugged her tightly. Now he had raised money for her surgery. In March 2014, his sister's surgery was successful and she recovered from the disease. 6 years after this success, Jing Hao had now become the general manager of New View Products. He is a big name in the corporate world. When he launched his new product, the rich and famous people present there applauded him, which also included Mr. Zhao and his old friends. Over time, they also became rich and were running their own businesses, just because they believed in Jing Hao's vision. Jing Hao's story is based on a real-life inspirational story where a person becomes a billionaire without any formal education and experience. This story teaches us that if you have determination and the passion to work hard, so we can overcome any difficulty. So I hope you liked this story, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.